Hello, everyone, and welcome to Morale Check, the professional podcast.
Oh yeah, we have a name. We're
We do have
official.
a name. It's Morale Check or
Yeah.
Test, one of the two. I believe in this game it's a morale test, not a morale check, but I say both of them interchangeably. This is
Uh,
a train wreck of an introduction. I'm
to
one
be
of your
determined title.
yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Cameron.
Yeah.
Him.
I am Kory.
And
Host is a
this
little gracious.
uh, the only podcast, bolt action podcast, hosted by two members of the Fighting 502nd.
Yeah, that's super valid.
Uh, but
So
today we have a list of topics for you. We're going to be talking about points, order dice, boats, and coal. I believe that's what I have in my notes here.
yeah, that works for me.
Weird.
To get it started though, what hobby stuff have you done lately?
That is a slightly accusatory question, my friend.
It's supposed to be.
No, I actually. So you recently got me a printed M15 and your Hellcat, and I've been using your Hellcat as a basis to paint my Hellcat
Okay.
because before I had any good paints, I just kind of used what my local game shop had, and so this is like my Hellcat was like an army green min color, and so
Hell yeah.
working on that a little bit. It just kind of painting what I have. There's a tournament coming up this Saturday. Well, at time of recording, it's this Saturday that we're both playing in. But mostly just kind of painting what I have. I went to Family Time Games. I went to a place called Valkyrie's Vault over in Brownsburg, and I went to
Ooh.
one other game store, and all three of them were sold out of spray paint primer. So
By
I
normal
just
spray paint.
yeah, I probably could.
By an airbrush.
I do want an airbrush. I want an airbrush so badly. If I bought one of those
Do it.
right now, though, my wife would kill me. Um,
Return Call to Arms, the video game we were talking about before the intro. Buy an airbrush. There you go.
there you go. What about you? What hobby stuff have you been up to?
Oh gosh. So trying to do oak leaf, as you've seen the many iterations of.
Very very good. Do you wanna talk about why oak leaf is a little complicated for you?
Because it's hard and confusing, and the tutorials don't match any other tutorials. They all conflict. So then you try to mix all of their different ideas together, and then it looks like a little painted guide. Yes.
I think the oak leaf I more went like your ability to discern the colors there.
Oh yeah,
Um,
being red green colorblind makes painting army men the worst.
uh, from what it's worth, your oak leaf did look fantastic.
I appreciate that. It's ever evolving.
I feel like that's most paint scheme for most people.
It's definitely coming along. Our dear friend Cole, or Michael, Caleb,
Uh,
he did that Splinter camo recently. So I've decided he's my nemesis now. So I had to paint a camo, and that's how I fell on Oakleaf.
so for the three of you that are here after watching the Operation Unwavering Resolve After Action report, um, the guy I kept referring to as Cole the entire time. That's Kory. That's I didn't screw up Caleb's name. I got Caleb right because
Yeah.
he was like I think he called me Chad.
Yeah, that's right, Chad.
But I bojangled your name the entire time.
It happens. I just worked really hard to put on an event to meet new people, and so you guys should have fun. And no one needs to know my name, I guess.
I was at my niece's birthday party at the time, and I just see on my phone like my name's Kory, and I'm like, God damn it!
It
I knew
happens.
I was
It's no
fucking
big deal.
was very funny in retrospect to me.
Yeah, I got no beef with it. I mean, it worked out. Now we're on a podcast.
Now we're on a podcast. It's crazy how life comes at you sometimes.
So yeah, just doing oak leaf and a bunch of not bolt action stuff. So
Ooh, what's the
that's all I
non-bolt
got.
action stuff? I'm very, very curious about that.
So I'm painting a Iron Jaws army for myself, slowly, and then I'm doing a corn army for a friend, but he wants it to look like cobs of corn for the hood.
That's good. I like that.
So yeah, 2,000 points of yellow is always a blast,
It's a lot of yellow.
keeping me busy.
Well, there you go. That does sound like a lot of fun. Bolt action's pretty much the only tabletop I play that's not like a board game.
So yeah,
I can really only afford one set of painted plastic at a time.
yeah, without the 3D printer, I wouldn't
Yeah.
have half the armies I do.
And I kinda put a massive order in with my buddy's game shop a couple weeks ago. So,
Oh god.
well, it
Like
was
another one or?
no. It was the American pre-release.
Oh, okay.
So I got the armies up. Warlord, phenomenal company.
Yeah, they're great.
They forgot to include the pre-order model with the armies of,
Lovely.
and it is the smallest thing that like because my buddy who runs the shop, Victory Pints, if you're in Cincinnati, was like, oh, do you want me to like say something? I'm like, no, it's literally one small plastic model. Like,
You should say something. They would make it right. They're good.
I know they would. This isn't anti Warlord in the slightest. Every time, because I want to say for whatever reason the Band of Brothers V2 set they sent me didn't have the gun for the 37 millimeter light autocannon for the Skoda, because your V2 version had that. It's
Okay.
the 250/3, I think it is.
The Hanamag thing.
Yeah, the Hanamag with the light autocannon. They didn't have it for whatever reason, just wasn't in the set, and he emailed them, and they sent just a whole new Hanamag with the 37 on it.
Oh,
So,
hell
like,
yeah.
yeah, it was incredible. I literally the only times I've ever had to deal with their customer support, phenomenal.
So where do you want to get started? Oh, speaking of.
Yeah, I was gonna say, segueing into from hobby into gameplay, we have a tournament this weekend.
Yeah, we do.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. So it's 1,100 points, 18 order dice. Pretty standard, it seems like. That's going to be the norm going forward.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Seeing a lot because we've got Fall Brawl coming up, the tournament you guys ran, this tournament, and then I've seen a couple others online that are doing the like no armies of books.
Yeah, that
Which-
just seems fair.
It seems really fair. Not everyone has access to it yet, and not every nation has their armies of book yet, because it absolutely. I don't want to say it makes anything like brokenly overpowered, but America and Germany are in really good places compared to some of the other nations right now.
Well, it just gives you so many more options. It just makes your toolbox massive compared to some of these other nations.
Oh, completely. That was. I've had because I have the companion app. I've
Right.
had that set to the base book only for so long that when I threw in the full list to try to make lists for my brother and I to play this weekend, got lost in exactly how much there is, especially when it comes to German vehicles.
Oh my god, it's like at the end of V2 when you would open up Easy Army and just
Oh,
do a
gosh,
generic
yeah.
list. Ugh.
And it's just everything. Is I want to say I'm willing to bet that Germany right now has more vehicles than most nations, including the United States, have infantry options right now.
Oh, easy
it-
peasy.
Yeah, they have so many like, oh, this is the Skoda 250. This is the Skoda 250/1. This is the Skoda 250/1-2. Those are all three separate vehicles.
Yeah, I really liked it before the Armies of book when you just had like tracked special purpose gun, and then you would pick the upgrades to make it what you
Right.
were looking for. That seemed a lot more streamlined.
Yeah, it's like in the American Army book, because that's what I'm running this weekend. I have a American Army's list. It was like the M8 Scott, the M812 SPG, and like the half track with the 75 were all under the same like fully tracked SPG. It's fully tracked SPG, and then you pick which one you want.
I was a big fan of that.
I was too.
Short-lived.
Before we went to every subvariant having its own selection.
Do you want to go over your tournament list?
Yeah, actually, I'll pull this up right now.
And I don't
Well,
know
as
if you
soon as
sent it to
Scam
me or
Likely
not.
stops trying to call me, I can pull up my tournament list. Yeah, I was like, the list I went with is probably in our DM somewhere, but so is. I just love how it's best Soviet list ever (1).
Oh, that's I'm not taking that this weekend, but that is exactly as the title says, the best Soviet list known to mankind. I would love to talk about that at some point.
Absolutely, we're going to. I'm sending you over FTG 1100 (3).
Ooh, .pdf.
Speaking do we wanna distract real quickly to talk about Fall Brawl?
I mean, at any point that seems reasonable.
Fall Brawl is the it's in September, yeah.
Yep, the 27th.
I mean, I'm going. I've got whatever it is. I'll block it out.
The 27th.
27th.
Yes, sir.
Got my calendar right now. It is the Fighting 502nd putting on their major tournament. There's people coming from all over several states. Like we're three of us are grabbing, potentially more than three of us, but the bare minimum, three of us are grabbing a hotel down there for the weekend. The big theme for this is winter art rules, which, for those who are unaware, the winter rules are, and I'm not saying any of this to be derogatory to the work that the 502nd guys are putting into it, because they have worked hard to turn this into like a tournament play thing. The winter rules are essentially 3 paragraphs in the book that are kind of throwaway for flavor, and they have managed to flesh this out into a full, like... We've had some dumb questions. We have had some niche...
Whoa. We've had some very crucial questions.
We have, for every crucial question we have the boats question, which we'll get to as well.
I believe that's what I just said, a very crucial question. But yeah, it should be a lot of fun. They're great
it's going to be
people.
blessed.
They put on great events. And it's at a really cool place, Hard Knocks, in, I don't know the town, in Kentucky.
It is in northern Kentucky, though, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So if you're anywhere in the tri-state area or quad state or whatever you call your little collection of states around Kentucky, September 22nd, come check it out.
27th.
27th.
Yep.
These numbers were just given to me, and I've already bojangled them. 27th.
Yep.
Come check it out.
Yeah, it should be fun. You'll see the best hobby paint room known to mankind.
I want you to know you have hyped this up massively every time I've...
Yeah. It's my favorite place on earth. I would marry this room if I could.
I will say a good paint room does make all the difference, because you don't realize... Because a lot of people, a couple of my old friends were welders, and they would always say, grinder and paint makes a welder what he ain't. Painting is one of those things where the tools you have at your disposal absolutely influences how good you are at doing the thing. Because I started getting some actual brushes instead of like the $10 Temu pack, and it's...
Oh, it helps.
It helps massively. I mean, you still need to know the fundamentals. There's still skill in display here, but it really helps.
Yeah, and just... I don't know about your area all too much, but like you're so starved for paint options.
I'm trying to think. The only thing you can paint at places like Family Time Games and Valkyrie's Vault, they don't discourage it, but there's not exactly like a dedicated spot for it.
Like availability.
Mm-hmm.
So like here locally, you go to any of the 3-4 game stores in Lafayette, you have Citadel and maybe Vallejo.
Yeah.
And that's it. Which,
That's
I mean,
it.
they're fine. They're fine paints. But I don't know, the options are nice. Just being surrounded by every brand and every product they offer is amazing.
That is for sure. We have a games workshop here, so loads of Citadel. But yeah, it's Citadel, it's Vallejo, and it's Army Painter if you're getting real specific with it. Because I think Valkyrie's Vault has some Army Painter stuff. Army Paints are.
Oh, I'm sorry. And they're all fine. They're all good options.
They're all fine.
Work.
Army Painter has got to be one of the. I got their broad set. I want to say maybe a year ago when I really got back into painting, and it was okay. The historical paints, because I have the German and the American historical paints, those are phenomenal. I have zero complaints about them. Army Painter has some of the widest swings in quality of any of them. Like Vallejo, usually pretty solid. Citadel, usually pretty solid. But like Army Painter is either okay or amazing, with no real middle ground. At least in my experience.
Just get 2 bottles of that. They're new, the Fanatic stuff.
Ooh.
So I'm pretty excited to play with that.
I have not tried any of the Army Painter's speed paints. I've heard those are good.
Okay.
I haven't.
I'm not a speed paint guy.
I'm not a speed paint. I can't. I'm too much of a perfectionist. I'm not good enough to be a perfectionist, but it doesn't stop me.
Hey, that's whatever makes you happy, I guess.
I don't know about happy, but satisfied.
There you go. That makes more sense.
We'll dive into these lists here real quick, though.
Yeah, so I have yours pulled up here if you want to run us through it.
Yeah, I've got a company commander, captain, just single guy with a pistol, inexperienced.
Why?
The 4 order dice and the morale bonus of +4 in 12 inches, I believe, is the specific rule.
You like the Snap 2?
I like the option.
Okay.
It's I very much, because I had this discussion with somebody at the tournament. Because he was looking over my list and he was like, oh, you took anti-tank grenades. By the way, I'm not going to defend me taking anti-tank grenades, though it did end up paying off because I assaulted both a Panzer III and Stummel, but that's over open top, so that doesn't really count.
Word.
It did end up paying for itself because I knocked out, again, a Panzer III and a Stummel. He said, I don't remember who it was, but he was like, oh, anti-tank grenades are so situational. And I remember, because what I said was, yeah, I just didn't know what to do with the extra points, and I was kind of inexperienced. But, like, what I was kind of thinking was, like, they're situational. Put yourself in that situation. That's just good generalmanship. Like, I like having a toolbox of things, you know? I like having options.
No, that makes sense.
Downside is it usually doesn't give me enough specialization. Like when I went up against a fully mechanized army in the first round and got absolutely trounced. He also had he had Pumas and there was a road running right down the center. Nothing I could really do about that. But I'm more of a toolbox kind of guy. I try to take a couple options for every scenario. And so the ability to take 4 snap 2s and definitely the morale bonus of +4, especially combining that with what we'll get into in a second, am in love with the Rangers. All right, like probably to my own detriment, love taking the Rangers as Americans, and so that forces them to be veterans, and then you get a morale bonus of 4 on top of that. It just makes them really difficult and also annoying to kill or knock out of a position.
Yeah, and the free move. I mean, upset about a free move?
Platoon commander, lieutenant, inexperienced, just because, you know, if... I know some people, especially German players, run their platoon commanders forward, usually with an SMG squad, but I keep mine back if my platoon commanders are getting shot at. Things have already kind of gone wrong, so, you know.
Yeah, they're by far the most important target.
Yeah, for sure. 2 ranger squads. 7 soldiers, 1 NCO with a submachine gun. It's not the focus of my list. Last time I ran, I want to say 4 submachine guns in the the automatic rifle. Just like that's where most of my damage was coming from, but I'm running a bit more of a mechanized list. 2 airborne squads taking it regular just for 2 order dice and 6 more rifles in the board. They're just regular though, so little bit easier to knock out. Air forward observer, I know you had some thoughts on that one.
They're so hard to do anything with. I would rather have an artillery observer with the one call-in versus the two with the air observer, in my humble opinion.
I do not disagree. I took the artillery observer took the artillery observer at your guys' tournament and got called out by Bo for it, so shout out me. Got called out by Bo on his channel. I believe what he said was you have people taking interesting choices like artillery observers when they have bonus to air.
But air is so bad, the bonus. So Warlords screwed the US V2 to V3 in my opinion.
The fire and maneuver is absolutely nothing compared to their... I think it was also called fire and maneuver, actually.
Correct, yeah. They gave us the shitty British special or extra rule that no one ever took because all the other ones were better as our main nation rule.
And it's like, okay, it made sense. You know, we have semi-automatic rifles per volume. We can get more shots out. So, like, they can be less accurate because we're spitting 4 or 5 down range. But, like, the British one made sense with the mad minute drill, which I thought was really cool. But it's like, okay, America's thing, fire and move. You can still do that, but now you just get, like, 1 extra shot per 4 guys.
3. Every 3 is...
3 gives a 4th?
Yep.
No, they did. Like... I mean, you have the gyro stabilizer, so they still gave it to the vehicles for some reason, but if you go veteran, I would much rather have no -1 on a movement than an extra shot per 4 guys.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It is the downgrade of the century there.
The worst part is you are now not forced, but it's greatly encouraged to take just rifles. So they took so much like player agency and choice from you with this new rule. Because if you use the bar, which they made a little bit worse, well, now you're going against your one good rule.
Right. And that's the other thing is you really now care about specific numbers because it's like, okay, you know, you're not going to like load up on every submachine gun or automatic rifle. You're going to like look at how many you have. Can you afford to give that up? It forces specific squad sizes. Like if you see an American, you're going to assume that his squad is a specific size because it doesn't make sense on the points to go like 1 less. You know, it feels like they really restricted down America's utility a little bit in that regard. But the Air Forward Observer, it's a gamble. It's an insane gamble. I'm not going to lie. That being said, I was the unfortunate victim of 2 strafing runs last game, in the last game I played in your guys' tournament, which didn't kill. Well, it took both strafing runs to kill 1 squad, but it did force me to rally with my other squads for a turn and just kind of made them useless for a round. So... I'm just kind of using it more as like just creating a window for something to happen in.
Yeah, when it works, it's great.
Oh, yeah, when they hit, it's devastating. I mean, because even the strafing, depending on what you picked, even the strafing run is phenomenal.
It just has to get there.
It has to fire, and, oh, shit, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a lot of flack on the board last time I played.
Yeah, and you're breeding a pretty healthy amount yourself there, bud.
Yeah, the M15, the 2 half-tracks, the tank. It's I hope my opponent takes air observers. That's all I'm saying. Bazooka team, it's standard American bazooka team. Like, why not take one? It's pretty cheap points, and it's something to think about. Nothing else. I have also gotten a direct impact kill with the bazooka on an infantry, and it just feels wrong. Like, I know it's not a war crime, but it feels like it should be one.
Wait till you shoot a unit inside a building with it.
Oh yeah, it's got anti-building bonuses because it's shape charge, right?
Yep. Yeah, so it's like a 2-inch HE template inside buildings.
That's incredible. I've got an M8 Scott.
Hell yeah.
My
powerhouse.
opinion on any unit has not shifted faster than on the M8 Scott. I kind of picked it as a cheap sort of Americans don't get to take a half track as a command vehicle, but I didn't have enough points for like a Hellcat or another Hellcat or another Easy 8, and I didn't want to make my Hellcat or my Easy 8 my command vehicle, so I kind of grabbed the M8 Scott. And then I proceeded to just absolutely tear Kory and my best friend to shreds with one.
It is
And I'm like,
brutal.
huh. It is. It is heavy machine gun, pintle-mounted heavy machine gun, so flak rules, and a light howitzer on a pretty fast frame is really nice.
And it has 8-up armor.
Yeah, 8-up
So-
armor. It is open top, which is a little, like, keeps you from getting in as close as maybe you would think you would want to be.
But it's
But
a
also
howitzer. Who cares?
It's 48 inches on a howitzer, yeah. And its HMG also has 48 inches, so if you're in range,
145
you're in range.
points.
Yeah.
And that's with command vehicle, so 135 base.
It's not bad at all.
That's pretty brutal.
Originally, I had the M8 Scott and then the Easy 8, and you did convince me to swap out the Easy 8 for the Hellcat.
Hell yeah.
It is I have made a lot of questionable choices in my life. I don't think anything has kept me up at night as much as that decision to swap out the Easy 8 for the Hellcat. Not because I think I made a bad call, but because I genuinely don't know. To this day, and probably up to the tournament, I don't know which one would be more optimal. I ended up going with the Hellcat because I do love the Hellcat. The argument for the Easy 8 that I have is the gyro stabilizer, and not open topped. But Hellcat gets wrecky, so. But it's the gyro stabilizer on the Easy 8 just.
Why did you take your Hellcat as a veteran?
Pins specifically.
But it's open top.
Oh.
And you didn't take the Pintle HMG.
So I made this list at work. I made this list at work at like 6 in the morning. I knew I screwed something up here.
Should make some small revisions.
I could probably, especially because I'm not changing it too much, I would just be bringing the Hellcat down and then adding the Pintle HMG. We'll post a link to these lists so you can follow along if you're interested. There's a glaring oversight in mine.
Oh, mine's not much better, don't you worry.
And then the M15 MGMC. What can you say about 2 turret-mounted heavy machine guns and a turret-mounted heavy automatic cannon other than 2 heavy machine guns and an automatic cannon? Like, come on now.
It's great. I mean, that 3 penetration for the auto cannon, you can blow up Hellcats easy peasy with that.
Yeah, and if not, you're pinning them.
True.
You know, and there's 2. HE1's pretty good because that's 2 models at least if you're firing at infantry.
Oh,
well, that's
absolutely.
2 models per 1 inch, I should say. So if you get lucky, you're getting 4, and that puts you in that sweet spot of, because you can get 4 models. Now, if they go down, you're still at least getting 2. You know, you're not dealing with the half rounded down from that you'd get on a 3.
Yeah, it's just a crazy amount of firepower.
And then platoon commander, medium machine gun, medium mortar, all inexperienced. Just to fill out the pins a little, fill out the order dice a little bit. Because if I didn't do that, I would be sitting at 11 order dice, which is a little low. So,
Yeah, it's doable, but it could always be a little better.
Could always be better. And because we can't take intelligence, we'll get into that in a second. But because we can't take intelligence, I want a couple extra order dice. What's your thought on intelligence?
Well, I honestly haven't read anything about it.
That is the
Is that where you roll to see if you go first?
yes, that is. You roll intelligence, and I believe it's a 4 up, and you get to draw the first order dice. It is a ability taken, but you can only take it once. and it's by one of your headquarters units. So one of your lieutenants, or your captains, or your Ober
How many
commanders.
points?
50 points. That's the thing.
No, that's all right.
It's all right for you.
Yeah, that's too much of a gamble. Too expensive. Too much gamble.
Because I was just thinking, because I was talking about this with someone in the Discord. That is 2 medium machine gun teams. I mean, they'd be inexperienced, but now you have 2 medium machine guns.
Yeah.
And that's 2 extra dice.
12 shots. 2 extra dice.
Yeah. And so, I could see it being used on, like, a German list. Jay mentioned French lists if you go with, like, a heavy artillery French list. Something where you
can do that.
What'd you say?
Anyone can take a bunch of heavy artillery.
But yeah, but I believe in V2 the French got cheaper artillery.
They got a free version of an artillery that you purchased.
Yeah, that was it.
And wasn't intelligence in V2 like a guarantee? You didn't have to roll for it.
Oh, okay. I mean, I could see it having really niche usage, and I will invoke my own, like, I'm not a hypocrite. I'm the king of taking things that have niche usages.
Well, you're Captain Toolbox, right?
Mm-hmm. And it is a thing in the toolbox, but I'm just thinking, like, would I rather have, you know, a calibrated torque wrench, or would I rather have 2 extra socket wrench sets? Like, the calibrated torque wrench is nice, but, like, how often am I working with things that have to be torque spec'd to a specific spec? So,
Yeah,
I think
I'd rather have 5 dudes with rifles.
Yeah, I think I come down more on the, like, you know, 5 dudes with rifles, 6 dudes with 2 medium machine guns.
Like, I'm sure it's happened where if I looked on first dice, something could have changed. But I can't, I don't know, reasonably think of any situations where getting that first order dice would have won me a game versus a loss.
There's not a single doubt in my mind that someone is already in the comment section going, like, I took intelligence in my game 2 weeks ago, and because that is the thing. That is the wonderful thing about games like Bolt Action is almost everything has won someone a game before.
Oh, absolutely.
There's not a doubt in my mind that you can be staring at something going, why would you take that? And someone's like, I swear by this, it saved my game.
Just 50 points. You can only use it once. It's a gamble if you can even use it.
I think if it wasn't an only use once... Well, okay, if it wasn't an only use once thing, I think it would be kind of overpowered at 50 points.
Oh, it would be busted. It would be awesome.
But if you... Yeah, I would take it every time, actually. But I think that's the thing as well, is like everyone would take it every time, and then that kind of...
Yeah,
I don't...
It's just default.
I think I would have to... I'll have to check the rules, but there is something about if 2 of you take intelligence, then, like, there's a separate rule for that. But the game doesn't have too many, or it doesn't feel like it has too many, like, mandatory takes. You know, I've never looked at anything. Like, there's no points taxes.
Right. Outside of the commander.
Outside of the commander, but I mean, when they switched the way platoons work, it made sense.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. So intelligence training, I pulled it up here on the app. Once per game, as long as your intelligence officer is on the table, you may act on intelligence and try to determine what die comes out first. Roll a d6. Veterans get a +1 modifier, and experienced get a -1 modifier. And you're looking for a 4-up, so you were right. And then if both players try to do it, it just cancels them both out, and you just play as normal.
You know, I think there's a line in there that took this from a situational, but I could take this to I don't know if I would ever take it, which is the inexperienced -1.
Yeah, that's huge.
Because the veteran +1 makes sense. You know, there's always bonuses for taking things at veteran. I run so many of my platoon leaders as inexperienced just because I don't feel like putting the points into them. That it's not now it's not a 50 point, it's really like a 60 or 65 point cost. Because now you have to
68 points.
68 total because bumping him up from inexperienced to because you're looking for at an inexperienced you're looking for a 5.
Yeah.
And yeah, every side of the die has an equal opportunity of coming up, but like realistically, when you have to bet on something, 4, okay, that's half the dice. 5 is the realm of like I'm not gambling on that anymore. Unless I have to, I'm not gambling on that.
Yeah, it sounds interesting for playing fun games or scenario games with your friends, but
I think I would take this when playing against like you or like Caleb or someone in a casual game, but I don't think this would ever make a tournament list.
it's just too much of a points investment, in my opinion.
Now, if you could take it on a command vehicle, I think that would change things for me. Usually because I'm not running command vehicles in inexperience.
Still,
Yeah, it's still 50 points. That is the hard thing at the end of the day. But
now where do
speaking
you
of
stand
vehicles,
on chaplains? Oh, I mean, speaking of vehicles,
no, you're chaplains. My only experience with chaplains is wasting Tim's chaplain first round in our game because he left him a little too exposed, and he took 4 submachine guns and 6 rifles to the head.
oh my god,
Yeah,
that's
it was
overkill.
not. Yeah, I mean, he was in the open, you know. I think if you got the points to spare, not a terrible.
17 points. I am way more interested in chaplains over intelligence.
Oh, 100%. That is,
On a 4
I've never.
remove a pin.
And what is it? You're gonna have to remind me on the specific rules.
So, if he, upon receiving his order dice, it's set 4 down, you may select one friendly unit within 6 inches, roll a d6, inexperience is -1, veterans +1. On a 4 up, remove 1 pin from selected unit.
It's a free pen removal, and if you think about the fact that like doing your math, 1 pen doesn't really. I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't really do much because it imposes a 1 in 36 chance that something hilarious happens when you roll your morale check. But it's not really that big of a deal, especially like because you're what I mean, it's a big deal for inexperienced because that takes it from what like a 6, roll less than a 6. I'm thinking of morale check for 1 pin on an inexperienced.
Oh, 7 up.
7 up, yeah, 7 up.
Or 7 under, sorry.
Yeah, 7 under.
Oops.
No, I got you. We're both idiots. That's
Yeah, that's, yeah.
7 under, regular 8 under, veteran 9 under. If you think about like depending on how your infantry is moving, or your vehicles for that matter, you're probably in range unless something's gone horribly, horribly wrong. You're probably in range of your platoon lead. 1 pin's not terrible, and it's coming off once you pass that morale check anyway, or that order test anyway.
Yeah. I
2
don't think
is
the
really
chaplain's
where
super great, but for 25 points for a regular, I'd paint a little white collar on a guy for that.
Yeah, oh, for sure, because that now makes it like now you can ignore 2 pins. It's 25 points to get rid of a pin. I would pay every single time,
And
especially if you activate that on a snap 2, and then you do him, and then the squad you're actually trying to activate. It's just like I would go for that for sure.
But you were talking about vehicles.
Oh, I was just gonna say, speaking of vehicles, your list. But
Oh yeah, my list has vehicles in it,
your list does have vehicles in it.
and I have that pulled up if you are ready.
I am fully ready. I'm 100%. We kind of made full disclosure. We kind of made these together. Like over the span of 3 or 4 hours, we were just sending these back and forth to each other.
There was some coordination. Apparently not enough. Veteran Hellcat with no HG.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so my list: 14 dice, Germany, 1,099 points. We almost did it.
Almost did it, chat.
So no company commander, just a normal platoon for my rifle platoon. He has a pistol, because I don't know how to click buttons. So he should have probably an assault rifle since they're free in the core rules.
That is super nice, I will say.
But, I mean, he's inexperienced. It doesn't super matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Some gerbil gators, or mountain gerbils.
Yeah. For those who don't get the joke, it's the Gerbers Jaegers. But you love your gerbils, man.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah, mountain gerbils. They're a lot of fun. I mean, Fieldcraft is just great because you don't have to remember terrain rules. And the less rules to remember, the better. And they're veteran.
The goal of list building is to remove as many rules as possible.
Yeah. I don't like reading unless there's pictures, so...
Not a lot of pictures in this book.
No, not nearly enough.
Not enough, that is for sure.
So 8 dudes, just rifles, veterans, pretty simple. And then we have the bread and butter of any German list. Some grenadiers, 6 rifles, 1 LMG, get that Hitler's buzzsaw going.
That's super nice.
2-3 squads of that at regular. So it's a lot of firepower. What is that?
Especially with those light machine guns.
Yeah,
those
10
are no
dice
joke.
for 85 points. They're a little squishy, but that's fine. They'll hide behind the mountain gerbils, I hope. And then I've never taken a Panzerschreck. So I thought I would give that a try at veteran in hopes that it stays around.
Real quick, does am I misremembering or something, or does the Panzerschreck have one more pin than the bazooka does?
6 pin.
Oh, it does.
It's also 88 points.
Oh, yeah. Well, you took him at veteran.
Correct. Yeah, what is
I
the
took mine at regular.
bazooka? Bazooka veteran 78 points.
Okay, so 10 less. 10 less for 1 extra, or 10 more for 1 extra pin. That's not terrible.
Yeah, no, I excited. I just painted one up recently, so I thought I would throw
And
it
it
in the
looks
list.
really good.
It's pretty neat. Super cool STLs.
You're on YouTube. Here is what it looks like.
Ooh. Ta-da.
The magic of YouTube.
Light Mortar Squad. Because indirect is great, since cover saves are stupid and ruined our great game. 21 points, and you can hit stuff on a 6. Like, it's
not bad.
Worth a shot, yeah. Cheap
Can't
order
argue
dice.
with that.
Now, second platoon's my artillery platoon, as usual, an experienced commander, and then a inexperienced Nebelwerfer. So
Your Nebels, man.
I just printed one. I just bought the STL. I thought, well, I should play with it. And in our game, it lasted all of 2 order dice. So,
I mean, I have one of your. I'll pick it up right now. I haven't. Oh, I did base it actually. You based it. I didn't base this. You based this. The Nebelwerfer is great. Like, it looks phenomenal. I will say.
It's not too bad. But
A lot of detail.
I wanted to play with it, and you blew it up before I got to activate it. So I thought I'd put it in my list.
Nebelwerfer versus Easy 8. It was ugh.
Yeah.
Super.
In hindsight, probably should have taken as the Howling Cow, the 2 crew version.
Oh yeah.
I think it shaves like 10 points, but then I would need to print a different model. And I don't want to do that. So yeah, Nebelwerfer. It'll probably not hit anything the whole tournament, and that's okay. As long as it looks pretty, that's why we play these games.
When it does hit, though,
Oh,
when it hits, people will be walking over to watch.
I hope. So then after that, just a light autocannon. They're just busted. 35
They
points,
really are.
48-inch range, 2 shots. And it has 2 pin, in case that situation comes up.
Speaking strictly from a you versus me fighting sort of thing, that really negates the fact that I take veterans, you know?
Yeah, any amount
Shaves
of
it.
HE is worth it.
From a 5 to a 3, like, you can't...
Well, it's That's for the armor. If it's shooting a vehicle, it has 2 pin. Shooting dudes, it has 1.
I mean, still, that takes it from a 5 to a 4. Kind of
No,
negates
absolutely.
like the points, you know.
But I mean, the truly busted portion of this is it's platform mounted, so you don't get a penalty for advancing.
Which is super nice.
All for 35 points.
Can't argue with that one, honestly.
And after that, we have a light howitzer, because I love HE.
It's the leaf blower. It really is the leaf blower.
Oh, you hear my neighbor outside?
Oh, no. Leaf blower isn't just blowing your opponent off the table with high explosive.
Well, that would be great if it's ever worked. So after that, the armored platoon. We'll keep this train a-moving. We have a Panzer III, the DACO one, because my friend painted me up a pretty nice one, so I thought I would play with it. Chad, I think's his name.
Yeah, Chad really loves his DAC and his DACA. You know?
Yeah, he is turbo tryhard. But he painted me a very nice tank, so I thought I would play with it. It's my command tank.
Tank paint schemes are phenomenal.
And after that, my Stug.
Stug life.
Yeah, it's hopefully gonna work. I didn't realize how many big tanks people take to these things, but at the tournament in June, a lot of you guys brought some very big tanks, and I'm playing exclusively with Caleb, who brings tons of little tanks. So
yeah, he likes his Panzer IIIs, Panzer IIs, Panzer One. Did I ever see him with the Panzer One?
Yeah, he has a P1.
Yeah, John in June went up against me with 2 Pumas, a Panzer III, and 3 Panzer Ones, and that was not fun.
Yeah, that's brutal.
That was miserable. Even before I started, when I was submitting my list, I was like, do I want to take maybe like a 75mm anti-tank gun, the M3? It wouldn't have mattered. That gets 1 shot. He had 6 tanks.
Yeah, and I hope that's not what happens with my Stug here, but it is the heavy AT one, as much as I would prefer the howitzer model.
The old stew.
Yeah, sure.
It is.
I totally know the difference in them.
That's what I'm here for.
Ooh, the brains behind the operation.
No, that is my specific. The pilot in me just memorizes numbers and names. Like, what's the difference between an Airbus 320 and Airbus 321 Neo? Glad you asked.
LED lights in the floorboards.
Yes, they made a whole new aircraft just for LED lights in the floorboards. That does sound that sounds like something Airbus would do. But
it sounds like something any company would do.
Yeah,
it has RGB now.
I didn't know this devolved into computer discussion.
I mean, I'm always down for it to devolve into computer discussion.
Same.
But my list.
Yes, one last thing to go.
Yeah, it does have the 360-degree medium machine gun on the Stug, so that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's got the little one on top. That is nice.
It adds a little bit of oomph, hopefully. And then lastly, a 222. Autocannons are great. Areti is cool, and 90 points is what I had to spend.
90 points for because the 222 is the wheeled vehicle version, right?
Yep.
Yep. I mean, double movement on roads. Can't argue with that either.
Yeah, we're just 12 inches and then dumping some light autocannons into stuff.
Dumping two light autocannon rounds and then 4 machine gun rounds. You can't argue with 6 dice rolls.
Well, it's one or the other. It's a coaxial.
Oh, it's a coax.
Yeah, no, this thing would be disgusting if you could shoot both.
What situation would you use the medium machine gun over the light autocannon? Or is it just like
None.
That's how the vehicle comes?
None ever.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
If you somehow ran out of autocannon ammo, even though it's a game and you can't do that, I guess.
I don't know if I was hallucinating something because when I was reading the book or when I was reading this specific entry, it was late at night. Or I might be getting V2 confused because those rules are kicking around in my head.
It happens all the time.
It happens. Yeah, and if you use the pintle-mounted machine gun on a vehicle, does that temporarily make your tank open-topped?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't hallucinate that.
In V2 and V3.
Okay, that carries over to... I knew it was a rule in V2, but I couldn't remember if I was just rereading the V2 rulebook a couple months ago, like half a year ago at this point, or like if I was hallucinating, but I swear at some point it was like, if you use the pintle-mounted machine gun, it makes your tank open top till the end of the turn.
It does. Not when you're firing the flak at aircraft.
Because that's like an inter-round thing. That doesn't...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're good there. And then your open-topped Hellcat's already open-top, so...
Right. And veteran. And doesn't have a pencil-mounted machine gun. You know, I got bigger issues.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Should be a fun, very long day of playing games.
And I only have to drive 20 minutes as opposed to the close to 2 hours I drove last time, which is always really nice. Because the drive up was fine. It was the drive home. Because what they don't tell you about, like, thinking, as someone who doesn't think a whole lot, it hurts to think. It also takes a lot of energy to think. So at the end of, 3 2.5-hour rounds, because other than just getting comp stomped by John in the beginning, I think all of my games went to the full 2.5 hours. There was, my brain was mush by the time I was driving home.
The end of any of it.
Yeah, that was brutal.
I can't believe your drive was that long.
It was only that long because of an accident on 465.
Oh.
Real Hoosiers will know 465 fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I have been stopped at 1 in the morning on 465 before. I did not think there were enough drivers in the state at 1 in the morning to stop all 4 lanes of 465.
Oh,
but
my
we
God.
were. I don't know how Hoosiers do it, but every time I think I have found the most Hoosier driving thing possible, they up the ante on me, and I have to it got worse. Yeah.
I avoid it as much as possible.
I used to live in Cincinnati and would drive up to Indianapolis to see my best friend and his daughter, now daughters. And my best friend's wife. I'm friends with both of them. I don't dislike my best friend's wife. She is best friends with my wife. It's great. I knew her before I knew him, actually. But it was to get to his house. It was a 2.5-hour drive.
Nope, that's all right.
Hour and a half was getting to 465, and then it was a literal hour to go from one side of 465 to slightly off of 465 on the other side of the city.
Yeah, no, we're not friends anymore at that point. Like, it was nice knowing you. Call anytime you want.
We're moving back in 6 months. I'll see you then.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good
one. God, it was terrible. I now live like 5 minutes away from him, so it's great. But I occasionally have to go back to Cincinnati for work, and I leave at like 6 in the morning. Not that I have to, because my work is like, hey, on the days you have to come back, don't worry about being here like 9 to 5. Just show up, hang out for what you can, get some work done, and then go home. Because if I'm gone for more than a month, IT locks me out, and no, there's no way for this to be prevented, unfortunately. I leave at 6, and I get there at 8, because if I leave at 7, it adds an hour to my drive, because
absolutely.
I have to go across Indianapolis, and it sucks.
What's your stance on cornbread casserole?
I fucking love cornbread casserole.
Right, cool. There will be an episode 2 now. We will maintain this friendship.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm Filipino. For those listening at home, I'm Filipino. Like, it does not matter where you take me. I'm going to try to eat Midwest food. It is the spiritual successor to the Philippines is the Midwest.
All
Last but
right,
not
so
least, I want to talk about boats.
real quick before boats, what have you cooked recently? We had what have you hobbied recently?
What have I cooked? The most recent thing I cooked was it was real simple. It was just spaghetti with meat sauce.
Okay.
But it's everyone knows. Okay, I have a slight tangent, and then I will tell the rest of the story. My work, because I get trained on new aircraft systems every so often, and I got sent out to Palo Alto, California for training at one point. It was with a company named Pivotal. They're great. I hope they're around in a few years. I really do. But, you're in Palo Alto, which is the Bay Area, and so like I have a per diem. I have the national per diem rate of like 40, $50 or something like that. And so I was like, yeah, we usually ate the hotel breakfast food, but then in the evening we would go out and we'd find local places, And to celebrate the end of our training, we ate at this Michelin star Italian restaurant.
Ooh.
I'm so glad I got the pizza. I got a margarita pizza. It's my favorite type of pizza from, like, not Papa John's, because obviously the works. But everyone else got some sort of pasta dish, right?
Mm.
My manager, my good friend, got this, like, ravioli dish. 6 pieces of ravioli. Now, they were big pieces of ravioli, but 6 pieces of ravioli. I got a full-size pizza. And these guys got, like,
Was the
tiny
ravioli
portions.
an appetizer? Was it
No, that was
amuse-bouche?
his main dish was the ravioli, and it was just like 6 pieces, very large pieces. By all accounts, he said it was delicious, but like they charged him like $30 for 6 pieces of that is $5 a ravioli.
No,
So
that's
glad I
okay.
got the pizza.
Yeah, the pizza sounds great in that situation.
Pizza was great. That being said, pasta's all about the seasonings, and a nice Italian seasoning in the pasta water itself, because I
Oh.
season the water, and then for the meat it was garlic, onion powder base, of course, and then I used like this campfire rub, which gave it a real smoky flavor. Combine that with like the Italian seasoning. Oh, it was so good.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah, it was delicious. And then garlic bread, of course.
Naturally.
What about you? What'd you cook?
Well, I made my very first brisket
Ooh, how long?
overnight on Friday.
Oh, there it
18-ish
is.
hours.
It's delicious.
It didn't get quite the bark I was hoping for, as you can see in the pictures. But yeah, it was fucking awesome. It was so good.
Brisket to me is more about flavor than the bark. I know some people really, really care about Oh, that's what you posted.
Yep.
Okay, you did post this.
Well, flavor
looks-
and bark, they go hand in hand.
That's true.
But yeah,
It
it
is
turned
true.
out surprisingly well for my first one. Reddit had me convinced I was going to ruin it, but it very tender, very juicy. Took for fucking ever. Oh my goodness.
Basically, kids, if you have a hobby you like, don't go on Reddit.
Yes
Avoid
and
that
no.
hobby subreddit.
Just go into it willing to take everything with a grain of salt. Or like a whole pound of salt. But
Sometimes the whole mine.
yeah.
I will say the bolt action subreddit is the nice thing about being from a hobby that is like struggling to survive in some areas is that like people can't be assholes to each other.
Yeah, the community is amazing.
It is, because you'll see some like clearly somebody's first paint job attempt, and it is like whatever your first paint job attempt, it's good enough, I promise.
Oh,
You know?
100%.
Whereas something on like I have seen people get eviscerated for on like Warhammer or similar subreddits, like the bolt action community is like, that looks phenomenal. Here's a couple pieces of advice.
The bold action subreddit and the mini painting subreddit,
Yeah, the mini
super
painting
duper
as well.
nice. They're great on there. That's really all I read it for, is that and like cast iron. So
I go to hobby drama because it's incredibly fun to learn about all the niche drama and communities I've never heard of before.
well, I now have a third subreddit. Thank you.
That is and a lot of times because they do like a weekly thread of like what's going on that's not big enough to make a whole post about, and there's a lot of cool stuff in there too. That's how I found out about almost every single War Thunder leak.
Oh, okay.
Is through them, but
I'm excited. I will report back next episode.
sweet.
So boats.
So boats.
Let's
do
get
you
more.
do you want to explain how we got onto the subject of boats?
Well, so you've heard about the fall brawl, right? You did a whole shout out for it earlier.
Yes.
I'm not really asking you. It's more of a segue, but
We're professionals.
oh, Hundo P. We've listened to podcasts. So at the fall brawl, one of their quirky things from those quirky guys in Kentucky is you have to take a recce platoon, and recce platoons, you got to take a vehicle. And a vehicle that is available to almost everybody is the boat.
It is actually available to every single list in the core rulebook. It is not in either the American or the German armies of books.
What he said.
Because we'll get to that. Continue.
Oh, I thought you would. You know more about the boats. You did the boat math.
Well, so one of the things available is a boat. It was briefly asked of like, hey, can we take this boat as our vehicle? And they're like, no, because that's insane. And fair enough. But there was a couple of brief like jokes thrown out about like boat is going to be the new meta. And I, not being able to leave well enough alone, decided to figure out mathematically how many boats can you fit into an 1100 point army list, and the answer is 30. You can fit 30 boats into an 1100 point army list. So the math on it is fun because it's 67 order dice to get us to this point. I have it
$200 of order dice.
It was 144 if you buy the order dice off of Amazon. I'm sure you could get it a little bit less if you go through Warlord or through your local game shop, especially if you walked up, because there are 12 order dice per set. And so if you walked up and were like, I need 4 packages of order dice. No, you'd need more than that. You would need 6 packages of order dice. They would probably, like, 1, ask you what you were doing, and then 2, cut you a deal, if only to remain on your good side because you're clearly not sane. I didn't do the math on, like, how much building this army would cost you, which I really want to do next. But it is... I went with Germans so that you could do the inexperienced squads. So it's everything inexperienced, of course. Why would you waste the points? Inexperienced platoon lead, 2 inexperienced squads, an inexperienced anti-tank, and then an inexperienced light mortar, which is 21 points apiece, and then heavy weapons squad with inexperienced medium machine gun, same thing, because you can only have as many transports as you have squads, so I couldn't just... because the boats are only 8 points. Boats aren't the expensive part. The expensive part is the fact that in order to take 6 boats, you need 6 squads. And so each one of those is between 21 and 35, because the inexperienced squad is 35. And these numbers are burned into my brain because because it is 6 platoons. It is 6 platoons of either inexperienced squads or inexperienced medium machine guns and mortars to take boats.
Why is the boat different points in the rifle platoon versus the recce?
I don't know. It is one of those, like, the mysteries of wargaming and bolt action, or Warlord and bolt action. Because let me pull up, it is all caps spaced out boat. It's 1,093, 60 order dice, and 5 platoons. a rifle, 2 heavy weapons, and 2 more rifle platoons.
I think we
Just
can increase your numbers.
boats. Yeah, I'm doing Waffen S. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at it. You probably could. This is probably. What are the boats in the recce platoons?
Recce platoon boats are 23 points.
Oh, dang.
Which, while we're on the topic of boats, I believe Jay made a great point. If, like, heavy artillery and stuff can be placed 6 inches onto the board, why can't a boat?
We have remade the. You know the Karkanization, everything becomes crab? Everything becomes the Kroot conga line. Are you aware of the Kroot conga line?
I am not, no.
So the Kroot conga line is it was like early 2010s because I first heard about it on messaging boards.
Messaging boards, Jesus.
Yeah, ain't that going back a ways.
Cringing.
There was I don't remember what faction, probably Tau. This sounds like some Tau shit. It might be Orc because of the word Kroot.
Tau and Crew. Oh, where he put down his guys in a way that his opponent couldn't deploy.
Yeah, so his opponent kept all of his stuff in reserve and was like notorious for keeping all of his stuff in reserve so he could like position deploy. And so what this guy did was he had infiltrators. All of these like motorcycle recon guys were infiltrators, and he lined them up on the opponent's side of the board so that his opponent, because you can't deploy within 6 inches of an opponent's piece, he could not get any of his army out and like won by default because he couldn't get his army on the board. It was, Kroot Conga. Anyway, everything is Kroot Conga line because someone was like, you could just continue like pushing the boats forward and like block off routes that way because you can't move through things.
Well, I mean, the boats can't move without water.
This is true. This is true.
Should be able to be positioned. And then in the winter rules, there are frozen lakes which have the potential to break. And it's not a frozen lake if it's not made of water.
I'm just imagining the Roman formation. What was it? The two-toe formation, the turtle. Only instead of shields, it's boats. Like you've got squads advancing up, just holding boats above their heads. Like, no. When we said the boats were transport, we meant you transported the boats. Sorry, common misconception.
But now, the moral of the boats is they're now an amazing way to tease the TO of this event, who got a little upset with the boats.
A little. Also, anytime somebody's like, I have an idea or I'm working on something, it's I or someone goes, it's boats, isn't it? What should I take in my list? Have you tried 30 boats? You should consider 30 boats.
Now, real quick. By real quick, I mean I know this has been going on for quite a while.
Nah, I'm enjoying it.
I sent you a list.
Yes.
Earlier.
Is this the
not my
Soviet
turn
list?
Best Soviet list ever, parenthesis 1. Yes.
Okay, I have not opened this. I'm opening this now. 9 order dice.
Yep. 1,100 points. That seems pretty standard.
Scout squad. Yeah, veteran scout squads. Okay.
Uh-huh. Well, I believe they have to be veteran.
A pair. Those are some very large T-34s.
They are. But do you notice what every infantry unit special rule is? Outside of the platoon commander, disregard him.
Every single one of them has behind enemy lines an infiltrator.
Whole infiltrator army sans the tanks, but...
What?
Yeah. And unlike the shitty German ones where it has to be 4 men, these max
are
out at 7. Yeah.
It's 6 plus 1.
Yeah.
With submachine guns.
That was to fill out points.
Sure. I mean, still,
yeah.
it's 2 shots.
So
wow.
This is, in my opinion, and by opinion I mean in fact, the best Soviet list ever. Everything is infiltrator.
Everything's infiltrator, and per the rules. So, the fun little FAQ, swinging all the way back to what we talked about in the beginning, one of the things that we had to like litigate. By we, I mean other people, and then I came along and asked questions that had already been answered, as is tradition. Included in this throwaway line about snow and deep snow and winter rules is something that essentially just says, "Oh yeah, Soviet tanks are immune to this."
Yeah, that is some real hanky pank bullshit.
Like, I mean, it. Okay, so if this were a more developed rule, you would have like the what was it, the Kettertraken or whatever, the modification for the German vehicles, because they had a wide track modification. Um, Soviet tanks were obviously built with the snow in mind. Germans eventually made a wider track system for their vehicles. American tanks just did fine in the snow. British tanks are a joke anyway. The French never got involved except with American vehicles. So I could see it being like a point upgrade for German vehicles of like, oh, for 10 or 15 or however many points, you can take the Keter tracks and ignore snow. But like, again, this is 2 paragraphs in a rule book. They did not think people were going to be basing tournaments around this.
Yeah, no, it definitely gives one nation a unfair advantage, especially a nation that can take 7-man infiltrator squads.
I was already going to take a Soviet squad because of the fact that their vehicles just ignore snow rules, but now I'm definitely taking one.
Yeah, it is pretty busted and definitely not thought out. If there was like a chart for what happened to your vehicle in the snow, maybe then sure, just have them negate it. But since it's just all Soviets can run in the snow, no one else can, pretty dumb.
Yeah, there's also like, there's the ski troops and everything. Wow.
And then there's Fieldcraft.
And then there's Fieldcraft. But the Americans don't get access to either of those things. Okay, real quick. Cameron's gonna rant for a couple seconds.
Hit me.
Why don't Americans get Fieldcraft?
Because the game hates us.
We had mountain troops.
Yeah.
We fought in Italy in the mountains.
Yeah.
Like okay, I get like obviously how you had the Alpini Corps in Italy, you had the Gerbesjäger.
Yeah, mountain gerbils.
For the mountain gerbils, Austria was a joke, and then like the Hungarians have to deal with not the Caucasus but the mountains that don't Carpathians, and then the Soviets with the snow. Them all getting Fieldcraft makes sense, but like, and also as of time of writing, the Brits don't either, which makes sense for the Brits, and maybe we will get it in the Commonwealth, but none of the British troops get Fieldcraft?
Why don't the Commandos get that?
The Commandos, or I don't know, maybe the Nepalese Gurkhas?
Yeah, that would also make sense, but Gurkhas have enough rules. They don't need Fieldcraft.
They don't need more, that is true.
But the Commandos...
Right.
They don't have anything special. They're just veteran tough fighters for too many points.
I really hope later on when we start getting campaign books, like if we get an Italian campaign book,
I'm excited for the campaign books. That'll be fun.
I am too. I mean, I'm pretty sure the first one we're going to get is Battle of the Bulge. I don't think that's going to surprise anyone.
Okay.
What? Is that
You're making predictions?
Yeah, I'll make a prediction. Right. I'll throw down that. Okay, I'll say one of the first 2 campaign books we get will be Battle of the Bulge.
No.
All right, yep, I'm locking in. First campaign book we get's Battle of the Bulge.
I like it. Just to participate, I'm going to say Barbarossa.
That would also be a really good choice because it's the most popular army. I don't feel like it's contentious to say Germany's probably the most popular army to pick. For various reasons.
Statistically, yeah, it seems pretty high.
It could just be like God's ultimate confirmation bias, but in all of the tournaments we're playing, Germany is the most picked nation.
Right off the bat, had so much available even without the army book.
They did. That is very true.
Like mountain gerbils.
Like mountain gerbils, for instance. Americans got the Rangers. I know some people are like, America really doesn't have an identity in V3 yet, and I
Oh
don't
God,
think
no, it
that's
doesn't.
necessarily. What'd you say?
Oh, not at all.
I would say America does have an identity. It's just kind of bad. Um, America's identity in V3 is the land, air, and sea. Like, you can. They wanted the land, air, and sea to be a bigger deal than it is. But as it is, because paratrooper rules aren't widely used, the paratrooper stuff doesn't really matter except for the fact that they're tough fighters. Marines will probably matter more when the Japanese become more of a thing. And the Rangers gimmick is run 12 inches, which is huge. I take them every game.
Yeah,
But it's not
great.
phenomenal.
No,
It's
it definitely
so
felt a little phoned in this book. Granted, it sounds great for doing thematic fun games.
my buddy and I did a Battle of the Bulge one, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, America's national identity is that whole by land, air, and sea thing. Because what everyone gets defend the fatherland in or everyone can take defend the
Yeah,
fatherland. I
that
want to
has the
say
potential.
in our armies of which gives everyone fanatics, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
And so that's phenomenal because previously Japan was the only nation that really did fanatics. I mean, you had the option to take it in Waffen SS, but you were looking at like what, 2 squads, maybe 3 if you were feeling dicey. Now anyone can take it.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's situational, but I'd be in situations, you know.
I mean, just like any tank grenades, I guess.
Yeah, I'd be. It was Robin that I rushed his Panzer III. He win. I feel so bad. He should have won that game, but he just kept whiffing. I didn't win. He lost. Like his dice lost. I feel so bad.
That's a win.
But I rushed a Panzer III. Well, I immobilized it with a bazooka shot right off the rip. But it was in a really good position, so he was using it as a bunker, and then I assaulted it. And he, over 6 inches away, he got to take the first shot. He used the DACA. He had the Panzer III DACA, so was that 8 medium machine gun shots?
Should be, 8 from the coaxial.
Yeah, because it's the twin coax, and then 4 from the hull, right?
Yeah.
That sound? So 12 total. He did not kill a single unit. No kills.
Veterans are hard to kill.
Veterans are hard to kill. And then I assaulted and destroyed his Panzer III because anti-tank grenades and the fact that my squad was 10 men. I regrouped, and then the very next round assaulted one of his Fallschirmjäger squads and killed them as well. And he just goes, I really thought they said assaults weren't as good in this version.
I think they oversold how bad they are now. Like, they're still fine.
They're super situational, but you can still pull them off pretty well.
They're super situational, but you be
in situations, yes. I'm just like, I've got a squad all the way in his back line, like, I'm in situations right now.
It sounds like you have a catchphrase.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen the post that I stole that from shamelessly? Because everything's stolen from something.
Oh, 100%. No, I have not.
It's I tried making a hamburger helper with no milk. That shit tastes like cargo pants. And somebody said, "Why do you know what cargo pants taste like?" And he said, "I be in situations." And just ever since then, I'm like, cool, I'm using that now.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Ticking over an hour and a half there.
Yeah, I think we've covered nothing that we intended to, but I think we've had fun.
We talked about points. We talked about order dice. We talked about tournaments. And I mean, it's like hand grenades and horseshoes, right? You know, it's about getting close.
Okay, I like it. I jive.
And I think that is where we'll wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Morale Check, Morale Test, Order Test. I'll just edit out in post which one of those it wasn't.
I don't know. I don't know if you should.
I think we should just leave them all in there and just
Yeah.
never establish what the title of this show is.
I mean,
But thank you all for joining us, and we'll catch you again next time.
yeah. Goodbye.
Bye, folks.